Harper Stewart is a newly published author. He's good enough that even Oprah takes notice of his book, Unfinished Business. The book hasn't been released yet, but Harper's already busy. He appreciates that his girlfriend, Robin, understands that he has ambitions he wants to follow through. To celebrate the occasion, they do some spicy things in the bathtub. And y'all, my coochie was on fire. But Robin gets offended when he's quiet when Robin professes her love to him. That weekend, Harper's best friend Lance is going to get married, and Harper is the best man. Robin is aware that the characters of Harper's books were loosely based on his college friends. One in particular is Kendall, the protagonist's ideal girl who is nothing like Robin. So Robin is feeling some type of way and unsure if she wants to attend the wedding herself. Robin only drops the topic when Harper reminds her that he doesn't like drama. He explains that the characters are a combination of all the girls he met in college. He is also in the book as a character named Jackson. Harper flies to New York for the wedding that upcoming weekend. His friend Murch picks him up at the airport. Murch reveals that their friend Jordan got a copy of Harper's book even before it was released. Murch himself has already read it, and he suspects that Kendall and Jackson are Harper and Jordan. Jordan has always been smart and competitive, just like Harper. Now she's a successful TV producer. Because of Murch's teasing, Harper admits that he and Jordan once shared herpes in college and almost slept together. But the radio that set up the vibe malfunctioned and the moment was gone. A shirtless Taye Diggs did things to me back then. Now there's an obvious tension between Jordan and Harper. They are both glad to see each other again. After that, they all head to the club to meet the rest of the group. Their friend Quentin has read the book. He doesn't have a stable job because he can't find something he likes. He's dusty. He calls out Harper for portraying him as a woman hater, apparently because his mother left him. But Quentin insists that Harper could have embellished a bit. Just then, Lance arrives. Lance is a famous football player and a firm believer in God. He's more than happy to see his friends. Morris Chestnut Foyne, he has my nuts in a chokehold. When Murch's girlfriend Shelby shows up, it changes the atmosphere. Shelby has always been rude, and she's never happy with Murch. But Murch is a simp that he can't help but follow her around, much to his friend's disappointment. Even Shelby calls out Harper for how he portrayed her in his book. Later that night, Lance takes Jordan and Harper to his house. Lance's fiancée, Mia, thanks Harper for featuring them in his work. She knows it's them, even though they are just characters with different names. Mia's giving good chaperone vibes. While touring the house, Harper sees a copy of their old school paper. He remembers when Lance was featured on the front page. They knew that Lance would make it big someday. Lance gave credit to God as he's a firm believer. Harper, however, doesn't share the same belief. Back then, Lance juggled different women. But one day, he met Mia, who was part of the school paper like Harper. Lance's interest was piqued when he learned that Mia was saving herself for her husband. He knew back then she was going to be his wife one day. Later that night, the boys get together again. They think that Harper breaks up with his partners quite easily because none of them could ever amount to Jordan. But Harper says he's happy with Robin now, although tying the knot doesn't cross his mind. This romance is giving brown sugar. As for Lance, he believes that he'll stop sleeping around once he gets married. He has cheated on his girl multiple times before, but now he's ready to get serious. He is also confident that he is Mia's first and last. Quentin can't help but question that. He thinks it's quite impossible that Mia never slept with any man. But if she did, Quentin claims Mia has every right to bend it over for another man, since Lance is a man whore. Lance feels insulted, so he jumps to grab Quentin. But he lets him go so as not to escalate the argument. The copy of the book is now with Lance. He can't wait to read the story and see how he's portrayed. Afterward, he tells Harper to sleep with Jordan and get over the tension between them. The next day, Robin is on the phone with Harper when Jordan suddenly shows up and she's startled seeing Harper's 12-incher. Robin says an "I love you," but Harper doesn't say it back.
Nice boxers.
Girl, I know you was looking at that print. While taking a stroll at the park, Jordan mentions two characters from Harper's book, Kendall and Jackson. She knows that Kendall is based on her and Jackson is Harper himself. Then Jordan points out how patient Robin is to wait for Harper. But Harper explains that Robin understands his priorities. Together, the two run some errands for the bride and groom. Harper can't help but brag about how great of a woman Mia is. Suddenly, Jordan realizes that Mia was also a character in the book. In the story, she is Casey. Jordan figures that though she is Kendall and Mia is Casey, their experiences in real life are switched in the story. In the book, Jackson slept with Kendall, but never did it with Casey. Since Harper and Jordan never had sex, she concludes that Harper slept with Mia in college, as per the story. Harper denies the allegations and says it's all fictitious, but Jordan is convinced that her suspicions are right, and she warns Harper that Lance will be furious if he finds out that he gave Mia her pearl necklace. When they meet with Lance, they see him holding a copy of the book. He has already started reading it and knows that Brian represents him. I just know Lance barely even reads the Bible. Later, Lance finds it funny that Harper even mentioned his multiple bedroom encounters. While looking at his friend, Harper is reminded of their college days. Lance would cheat on Mia, and when Mia ignored him, he would run to Harper and ask for help. Then Lance would beg God for forgiveness and have Harper read the Bible for him. Wanting to know the truth, Jordan asked Mia herself. Mia's answer is quite vague, saying that what she and Harper shared was as sweet as a forehead kiss. Just say you splayed it out for Harper. While trying on tuxes, Quentin talks about wooing some girls at the wedding, but Harper says he needs to put that same energy into finding a career so he can stop being dusty. Quentin throws it back and says he knows that something happened between Mia and Harper. Then when Murch asks to use Quentin's phone to call Shelby, Quentin calls him out for being a simp. He tells Murch not to let Shelby order him around. Before the dinner party, Jordan tells Harper she wants her brains did in by Harper. Robin is flying in tomorrow, but Jordan doesn't care. She even kisses Harper and tells him she'll be waiting. Trifling hoe. That night, Mia acknowledges Harper's role in her relationship with Lance. Harper introduced them and continued to be their biggest supporter. Lance realizes that things would have been difficult without Harper. Harper never ratted him out, so Lance swears that he'll never cheat on Mia again once they get married. He says that he promised God he'd do right by Mia if she gives him one more chance. So Lance declares that if he finds out Mia had slept with someone before, he wouldn't take it as a big deal. Harper suddenly wants to confess something, but someone has to pop a doogie. The bachelor's party is that night, and Shelby doesn't want Murch to join his friends. With a little push from Quentin, Murch stands his ground and refuses to give Shelby what she wants. Before the fun starts, Lance gives the rings to his best man. Harper takes the opportunity and grabs the copy of his book and hides it. Writing a whole book about your friends and hoping they won't read it is crazy. Then the fun begins and everyone starts getting drunk. Soon enough, the strippers arrive, and the last one is Brenda the stripper. When Harper's jacket falls to the floor, Lance grabs the book and hides it. Murch is so mesmerized by a dancer named Candy that he even hits on her after the party. Meanwhile, Harper is already drunk and is ready to go to Jordan's apartment to get his freak on. He's not aware that Lance is secretly finishing the book. While reading, Lance can't help but imagine his fiancée sleeping with his best man. To him, the book is a confession. Furious, Lance starts beating up Harper. He's so mad that he's about to push his best friend off the balcony, but Quentin tells him to think about the wedding the next day. Though burning with rage, Lance lets Harper go and announces that the wedding is canceled. Typical. A cheating man is a hypocrite. Rules for thee, but not for me. After that, Harper heads to Jordan's apartment. Jordan is so disappointed because she was ready to get creamed. Harper blames her for what happened. He says Mia and Lance are supposed to be married already by the time the book is released. But because Jordan got an exclusive copy of the book and let their friends borrow it, Lance got to read the story before the wedding even happened. Offended, Jordan hits Harper. She tells him he's to blame because he was the one who slept with his best friend's girl. Harper apologizes, but Jordan has already lost her appetite for eggplant parmesan. The next day, Harper picks up Robin at the airport. Robin is shocked when she sees Harper's black eye. She's even more devastated when Harper told her everything that happened that weekend. Harper explains that although he was supposed to sleep with Jordan, he didn't go through with it. However, Robin is done with him. Harper begs Robin not to leave because he needs her now more than ever. So Robin decides to stay, but only to see Harper fix the mess he caused. I'd stay just to see more drama unfold. On the wedding day, the guests are unaware that Lance has already canceled the event. Murch finally breaks up with Shelby and takes Candy as his +1. Meanwhile, the boys are all looking for Lance when he suddenly shows up at the church. Lance is so furious and he insists on telling his parents that the wedding is off. Neither Murch nor Quentin can stop him. Robin encourages Harper not to give up, so Harper comes up with an idea and tells Lance to pray. Mia is still clueless that Lance doesn't want to get married anymore. Robin approaches and introduces herself. Her goal is to keep the truth from reaching Mia while the rest of the gang convinces Lance. Jordan enters the room and meets Robin for the first time. In the other room, Harper tries reading the Bible to Lance. However, Lance is still angry. Harper finally admits that he and Mia really had woo-ha a long time ago. Lance almost beats him up again because he doesn't know how to process the truth. Harper reminds Lance that what he and Mia have is special, and he shouldn't let the past stop them from getting married. I can't take Lance seriously because he did Mia dirty so many times. After admitting that Mia is still the love of his life, Lance also decides to forgive Harper. He says it's the Christian thing to do. However, he believes that Harper needs God in his life to make him into a better man. So Lance tells Harper to acknowledge God and start believing in him. Lord, help me, because these characters need more than God to be better people. A few moments later, the wedding happens. Though Lance keeps thinking about Mia swallowing Harper's sword, he recites his vow and promises to cherish Mia for life. Then they kiss and officially become a married couple. Later, Harper gives a heartfelt speech for his friends. Lance appreciates the honesty and gives him a nod. Shelby later catches the bouquet, and Quentin catches the garter. Shelby is so annoyed that she walks away from Quentin while the other guests continue to cheer. Jordan then tells Harper to forget everything that happened the night before. She tells him that Robin is the one for him and he shouldn't let her go. So Harper musters the courage and proposes to Robin in front of their friends. Robin gladly says yes. Oh Lord, Robin girl, run! Also, proposing at someone else's wedding is crazy. All the guests sing and dance and enjoy the reception until the end. The next morning, Quentin and Shelby are both shocked when they wake up beside each other, proof that they enjoyed each other's company the night before. Quentin was probably my favorite character in this because he always kept it real. But him sleeping with Shelby, oh Lord, that would be a mess if they became a couple. What did you guys think of this one? And should we cover the best man holiday?
Did y'all like that one? Honey, well, make sure you like and leave us a comment. I try to respond to as many as I can. And if you like Tubi, Lifetime, or just straight up trifling movies, make sure you subscribe for real. For more videos, you can click here or here.